Hello wrestling fans! In this video we're going to be talking about 3 match types that were included in 2K14 that need to make a comeback for 2K22. Match types are one of the things that bring great variety to WWE games. Having a good mixture to choose from adds to replayability. In recent years the choice of match types has been downgraded. Looking back at previous games we had a lot more options. When 2K and Visual Concepts came in, many match types were removed and have not since returned. WWE 2K14 was one of the last games to feature 3 special matches, which I would love to see included once again in 2K22. So let's go through them. The first is the I Quit match. The goal of the match is to make your opponent say I quit. During the match you were able to prompt the referee to ask your opponent whether they were willing to say I quit. The way this was done was that the referee would pull out a microphone and this would start a mini game where your opponent would have to hit no by timing the button correctly. With you being the one asking the question if the opponent would quit, you also had an intimidate feature which would make it more difficult for your opponent to time their button press and put more pressure on them to say I quit. Looking back at the I Quit match in 2K14, I wouldn't say it was perfectly executed. In fact, I think the gameplay could do with a complete overhaul. Much like Last Man Standing, they both feel a little repetitive. However, I think if I Quit returned in 2K22 and had some changes to the system, like the addition of cutscenes and rethought gameplay mechanics, it could be great. The question could be asked, why hasn't the I Quit match been featured in WWE games since 2K14? Well, the match type is not nearly used as frequently in real life as it once was. Since 2015, the I Quit match has been quite rare in WWE, though in 2020 the match type saw a return to pay-per-view after a 5-year absence. Roman Reigns battled Jey Uso in the first ever Hell in a Cell match contested under I Quit rules. That match may increase the chances of I Quit being in 2K22. If so, maybe we could get the added bonus of the stipulation being used in various environments, like the Hell in a Cell or a steel cage. Our second special match type is the Inferno Match. This was a rather fun match type back in 2K14. I think a good time to have this come back was in 2K20, where the Inferno Match would fit in nicely alongside the 2K originals. The match works similar to a Battle Royal. The goal was to push your opponent out the ring through the fire. Unlike a Battle Royal, you didn't throw your opponent over the top rope. Instead we had this roll feature, which you used to roll them to the edge of the ring and push them under the bottom rope. It was pretty simple, but in my opinion, effective. The look of the ring surrounded by the fire is also a great visual. I think it would be really cool to see them bring the Inferno Match to life with the next gen graphics. As for the probability of the Inferno Match making a return, I would say the chances are quite slim. Just 4 Inferno matches have been held in WWE history, with the last true Inferno match being held nearly 16 years ago in 2006. In 2013, a variation of the Inferno match took place. Bray Wyatt fought Kane in what was called a Ring of Fire match. Due to the match being missing from WWE programming for so long, I would say it's unlikely it will be featured in 2K22. We will probably have to wait until WWE decides to use the Inferno match type on TV again, before we see it back in any future WWE games. Our third and final special match type is the special guest referee match. Myself and many fans believe this is long overdue a return to WWE games. It's also a nice feature to take control of the referee rather than an in-ring competitor. What was massively entertaining about being the special guest referee was you ref the match how you wanted, whether you called it straight down the middle or you were biased to one superstar, making some sneaky fast counts. This was a really fun match and especially great for multiplayer. In comparison to the other special match types I've suggested, this match type shouldn't be too difficult for 2K to include, as despite not being a playable option in games since 2K15, the match type and mechanics have been featured in showcase mode a few times over the years. Just knowing this makes you question why special guest referee wasn't a playable match type in those previous games. In WWE, special guest referees pop up every now and again. It's definitely more relevant than the other matches that we've listed. There have been a fair share of them in NXT over the past few years. Unlike the Inferno match, I think there's a very good chance that special guest referee could return as a playable match type in 2K22. To back this up, if we look at developer Patrick Gilmore's poll for the game, special guest referee topped the list of most requested match types, so it's clearly on their radar. But it would be disappointing if this match type wasn't featured, particularly after this poll. So what do you think? Would you like to see these 2K14 match types return in 2K22? And how likely do you think it will be that we will see them? Also, what other match types from previous WWE games would you like to see featured again in WWE 2K22? Make sure you leave us a comment, why not drop a like on this video, and until the next one, thanks for watching.